Peace World. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. My name is Wood. Gonna jump into some bite down boxing talk with last night's Showtime Championship boxing card, which featured the super bantamweight championship fight between Nery, the WBC champion, and the heartbreaker Brandon Figueroa. I favor Figueroa going into this fight. I really haven't been all that impressed with Nery. Just his conduct as his level of professionalism as a fighter, trying to and maybe it's valid. Maybe the dude really can't make 118. But to walk away from being in camp with Eddie Reynoso, that's one of those situations where I think it's more of an indictment about the fighter than Reynoso. And but to Nery's credit, he knows himself. He felt he wasn't looking right in the past bout or two, and wanted to find a way to be comfortable in the ring. But his body language was a little off to me last night. Anyway, but let's jump back to the opener with 130-pound prospect, rising prospect, undefeated Xavier Martinez in against veteran Juan Carlos Burgos. My detail here that I was watching was, how does Martinez, a very skilled fighter, very good young fighter, how does he look against Burgos, who I saw in the ring previously with a lot of people, but in particular current WBC lightweight champion Devin Haney. So that's what my interest in that fight was. Good action-packed fight. Burgos fought his heart out. He took some big shots. I left my notes downstairs too. But it was at the end of the 7th or 8th round. Like, he was wobbled badly a couple times. We've seen Martinez get guys out of there. But Burgos just took all that stuff. A lot of inside fighting. Martinez can fight from at all three levels. He has good power. I love his poker face. He was taking some shots. We know he was dropped twice by Marrero in his last step-up fight. He came out of that one, with the victory. I just think a very determined Burgos showed up, was refusing to end the fight inside the distance, not cross the finish line. He did that. Martinez got the decision widely. Burgos only won 1 or 2 rounds and whatnot. So a good win for Martinez. 130 and 135 is just crowded, man. Even 126 has a lot of depth there. Excellent depth at 122, man. So it's just a lot of bodies in these 4 or 5 divisions right here, even at up to 140. I mean, it's ridiculous right now how much talent is in boxing, in particular in North America, in the United States. So, Martinez picks up a good win. I like his attitude. Good physical performance from him. He took some shots. He gave some shots. Like I said, man, he faced some adversity in the fight. Didn't fall apart. Gets another big win against a very battle-tested guy, and he moves on. I think it was a good win for him. We'll see what happens with him next. I thought, another interest in this card was, what would Daniel Roman, former unified 122-pound champion, Daniel Roman, what would he do? He's kind of didn't look all that great against Payano, TJ Doheny fight, Morozhdan Akhmadaliev, where he lost his title. He seemed to be getting off to these slow starts. And this one got going quick. I mean, this was a really action-packed card for Showtime, which is what I expected it to be. The last 4 rounds for Roman were just heavily one-sided in his favor. They kept talking about him not having the greatest power. He has a lot of skills, man. I love some of the awkward stuff that he was doing, or, stuff that's unique to him. He was landing the uppercut. A lot of times the left uppercut, but he was landing the right too. Busted up Ricardo Espinosa. Shout out to that dude. He was tough as hell. He's leaking all over the place last few rounds. Referee, stops the fight in the 8th or 9th round, brings the doctor into the ring. The doctor is like, let me come into the ring and examine this man. And, he continues on. I thought maybe the corner could have stopped it. These guys going for broke last night. So it was a very entertaining fight. Again, as a Roman fan, Daniel Roman, the babyface assassin fan, good to see him have better body language. He's a thinker in there. He executes his game plan, variety of shots. He does everything in boxing. He just might not be able to get guys out of there, at a high rate. But again, man, if you like the sweet science, it's all there for you to check out. What does it do for him? This was a WBC eliminator. So this, in theory, lined him up for the winner of the main event. But we already know that Showtime, I don't know what the discrepancy was here, but we know that Showtime already had Stephen Fulton, who was on site, there to meet the winner of Nery and the Heartbreak Kid, Figueroa. So again, good win for Roman. 122 is loaded. Showtime controls most of the young talent there. We'll see how they mix and match these guys. But like I said, good for Roman to really step forward and have a fight where he was in control of it most of the way and looked pretty good. Getting to the main event. Nery and Figueroa. This kind of win as I expected. The height advantage was there, the length, although he doesn't really use it, but he's a volume guy. Seemed like early on he was kind of smothering himself a little bit. It seemed like he found some success when he was attacking from mid-range, landing a few shots, and then inching his way inside. But obviously it came to a close. What was that, 4th, 5th round? I should have looked at that before I started. Or was it my bad on not having the details right there. But I think it was the 6th or 7th round, now that I think about it. But Nery, man, he's one of those guys, like, he won some of the earlier rounds and won some rounds in the fight, but I just didn't like his body language. I really just didn't like his body language. He looks like a guy with a lot of stuff going on. Maybe he's lost his identity somewhat as a fighter. I don't know. But, he was taking all the big shots and missing a lot. And I thought that just led to him having the gas tank issue, as well as the body work that Brandon Figueroa was able to get accomplished. And he just lost control of the fight, lost control of his game plan. And like I said, the last round and a half, 2 rounds, I just really didn't like what I was seeing going on with him and his grit, his resiliency, his resolve. It all just seemed to fall apart. And it just seemed like he was gonna be in a position where he was gonna have to figure out how to finish out that fight. Figueroa had the answers for how the fight was gonna play out, and I thought, as Fulton mentioned, he takes a lot of shots, but he lands that left hook, gets him out of there. Nery, you could see when he went down, it was going to be a struggle for him to get up and continue. I'm not going to say that he quit. It was a hell of a shot that he took. But, again, I just don't know what's going on with his career. And, Figueroa becomes a real world champion with that WBC title. I think his WBA belt is the regular version. Looking forward very quickly, very briefly, to the matchup, the unification fight with Stephen Fulton, Cool Boy Steph. Well, I see some issues there, and Fulton is very confident of his superiority over Figueroa's skills. There is still that height advantage. Volume is always a good thing. Um, Not everybody can handle that type of stuff. I think Fulton can, but I do think there's a lot of questions that remain with that matchup. I want to see it play out in the ring. We know that Fulton is not a truly heavy-handed fighter against that volume. So there's some interesting things there in that matchup. Some interesting, like I said, some questions remain for me. So that fight is headed our way in September. We'll see what happens. And then 122, lot of mix and match interchangeability there with mixing these guys up for the next 12 to 18 months. So enjoy that. Again, Bite Down Boxing. Let me get up out of here. Don't let them count you out. Pay me no mind. Sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.